All right, so in this one, I'm going to show you guys really quick how to shrink this back glass. And this is the, I'm not, this specific car right here is a Subaru hatch, but it's going to apply to many hatchback back glasses or many SUV back glasses, the difficulties in getting around on how to deal with these ones. So first, when you apply the film, you want to apply your film on there. And if you're hand cutting, that's a whole different tutorial on how to hand cut these. But you're gonna spray water under the center line. You're gonna lift up this one. You're gonna spray water on both sides. Um, then you're gonna fan the water out. And I'm pulling up because I want the tension to go up and down. You know, so I put my tension up and down. Some people, they lock down the sides. You'll see a lot of videos where guys lock down the sides. I necessarily, on certain vehicles like this, I don't do that. It's because you're going to have fingers on the corner that are super aggressive. So I'm going to pull that back up. I'm going to reset that. I personally don't lock down the sides. It's not necessary. All right. Now, this one, it's a little wet. It's for the as for the hatchbacks and things like that, you can have the back glass a little more wet than you would need be, but it's completely fine. Wet shrinking it and dry shrinking a hatchback, any type of SUVs, it's literally about the same. Honestly, I almost prefer to wet shrink SUVs, but you can do it however you want. So I'm going to start this up. So all right, so I just shrank a little bit, not to get too completely ahead of everybody. I don't know if you can see it that well. I'll try to get it in here. But on a lot of these vehicles, sometimes with the hatches, when you're shrinking them, you'll see these T lines. And then when you get one of these T lines, people get really scared. So as for me, I can shrink around. I can keep shrinking without creasing this. But if you see one of these or one of these lines where it looks like it's going to crease, you can just slide your finger down and you can split the finger up. So all that means when you get a T line is that the film is just compressing more than beyond the means. So you can go ahead and split these fingers up. If you ever see some T lines, you see lines like this, you can always split them when you're starting out. It's just one thing you can always do. Stay safe. So I'm going to keep shrinking it. And a lot of things too, what people don't kind of do. So whenever you're shrinking one of these back glasses or something like that, you never want to press the film down further than you shrunk. So I can shrink from the bottom up. It's just one of the tactics. I know if you're wet shrinking, you can shrink from the bottom up. It makes it's a little safer because you're blowing air under the film into it instead of just hitting the top and then you're just trying to compress the bottom out. That's how that's one way you can do it. Um, so keep in mind when you do that, you can burn the film pretty easy, especially if you're wet streaking. But I know a lot of people may look at this and they're like, how the hell are you even shrinking this? But in due time, you know, you'll get used to it. You'll be shrinking things. You can mess up in the middle. You'll know how to fix it, with no crease lines or anything like that. So, The thing with tint, if you're shrinking out a hatchback back glass, it just takes some time. Um, see, and I'll show you guys another one of these long fingers, right? So um, this right here, you can see it on the camera. This finger is probably about literally the size of a ruler. It's probably about 12 inches long. You never want to absolutely go down, especially when you're starting out. You never want to shrink a 12-inch finger down. That's something you don't want to do. So one thing when you do, you see a finger like that and you're like, man, when will it compress? You know, if you get all the way, you might be damn near done with it. And around like the last inch of the 12 inch, it might just compress and crease. So simple, easy thing. You could still split it up. A lot of people, they don't know that. You can always split a finger up. As long as you have a little bit of heat on a finger, you can split it up. Always. So you don't have to compress it down to nothing. So same as the center. That. And now, if you see these fingers, I'm gonna go over here to the side. Sometimes you'll see fingers to the side, and these will show up on your glass if you don't shrink them out. So, a lot of people do. They'll see it on the side, then they'll heat it up, and then try to spray it down. You can do it like that, but if you're starting out, I would not do that. You know, I would just press it down, squeeze it down before you even start out. I think that's a little easier. You can hit it from the bottom and then you can shrink it out. So it goes out nice and fine. It just looks scary at first. So do it like that and you'll be good. Same as the other side for the top. You press the finger up here. You can keep it on the side. Um, it depends how aggressive this window is. For this window, I wouldn't compress too much of it at the same side at the same time to the top. But it all depends on you. So I'm gonna go ahead. I always shrink the left side first. So I'm gonna do the side first. So here's another problem people run into. Now, this is a very strong finger and it's going all the way to the top. And you can see when I hit it, anything beyond that, if you press that down right now, I promise you it's going to crease on you. So if you see one of these lines where it's just a really fat finger and it's, you know, those 12 inches, go back and you can use your simple method. You can split it up again, split it. You can always split it, splitting fingers if you need the help. Now, so go back. This thing's in my way, so I gotta move it down. So this finger on this right side, um, you can look at it and there's no way you're getting around that. So you're gonna hit it a little bit. You're gonna do the same thing if you're having that problem. You're gonna move it over, and if it makes big in one spot, then you split it with your finger, split it up, and split it. So you're gonna go up, press everything out, and That's how you shrink, you know, your average back glass on a SUV. Perfectly shrunk, flattened out, no problems. And as you can see, it's flattened. There aren't any bubbles, bumps, or anything like that. But if you lift it up, it'll look all wild again. So that's how you do it. Like, subscribe, peace.